Travel for me is like breathing. It is a part of you and never goes away. Hi there, my name is Meg Olson and I'm going to be talking about my travels. My first trip was to Costa Rica with my high school. I've also been to England 3 times, as well as multiple cities throughout Europe, and experienced the culture of Morocco and Southeast Asia. The focus of this presentation is on my favorite destinations in Europe. In 2011, I went with my friend to England for the very first time. It was quite the experience for two 18-year-olds. We stayed on the outskirts of London, where we saw the major attractions such as Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, and the Tower of London. Since me and my friend both share a love for the Tudor history, we made sure to see Hever Castle, home of Anne Boleyn, and Hampton Court. Of course, we also had to do a day trip to Oxford, where Alice in Wonderland was written, and York. I just knew I love England and would definitely be back one day. In 2012, I did my first solo trip to Europe. I did a bus tour called London to Athens with a company called Contiki. My favorite destinations that we stopped at were Paris and Rome. In Paris, we saw the Eiffel Tower, and if you see it at the right time of night, it goes sparkly and glows, kind of like a Christmas tree. This was one of my favorite paintings I found along the River Seine. We also saw the Palace of Versailles, where the French monarchy lived until the French Revolution, as well as the Moulin Rouge with its famed red windmill and cabaret show. In Rome, we did a tour of the Sistine Chapel, where we had lost our tour guide, so we made up our own stories. We also saw the Colosseum and Roman Forum, which had been on my bucket list since I was little. In 2016, I went with a friend that I met on my tour in 2012 to Eastern Europe. We started at Plitvice National Park in Croatia and then drove to the city of Dubrovnik. Of course, the drive itself was supposed to take 6 hours, but we decided to take the coastal road, which made it 10. After walking along the walled city, I fell in love and knew I would definitely have to go back one day. It's also featured in the TV show Game of Thrones. Another city that was unexpected was Prague. Prague has 2 major landmarks. One is Charles Bridge, which was named for King Charles, who was also a Holy Roman Emperor who brought education to both males and females at the late 1300s. This is one of the paintings that I got along in a market. It's one of my favorites. Prague also has the astronomical clock in the town center. The cool story with that one is, after the inventor finished inventing it and building it, the townspeople were worried that he'd go to another town and build another clock. So they invited him to a party, got him nice and drunk, and then blinded him. In retaliation, he decided to take a mechanism out of the clock and throw both himself and the mechanism into the river. And the clock has not worked since. My last city that I want to talk about is Munich, Germany. Munich is known for its beautiful landscapes. Of course, one of the most well-known attractions is the castle Neuschwanstein, which is where Walt Disney got his inspiration for the Disney Castle. Another major thing that happens in Munich is Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest goes from September to October, and a cool thing about this one is the fairgrounds are free, so you only pay for what you eat, drink, and or the rides you go on. Another neat thing is the beer is 8 to 9% alcohol instead of the usual 4.5% or 5% elsewhere in the world, which means a lot of people get intoxicated very fast. The beer tents also open at 10 in the morning, but people will start lining up as early as 7 in the morning. Another cool factor is, because the traditional dress, lederhosen, is very expensive, some men will dress in the female garb, which is the dirndl. Unfortunately, that also means that they will go as females. That usually only happens at stag nights, but Europe is a weird place. It happens. This concludes my European adventures, and I must admit I am already planning my other one. Thank you for listening, and hopefully this has inspired you to create your own adventure. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much. Have a great day.